Well, today I'm super excited to tell you two of the biggest trends, two of the biggest industry where the world is heading, which is cryptocurrency, and what if I tell you another one is NFT. Well, let me explain to you in a little bit, but before I explain to you how big the NFT is, let me ask you a quick question. Do you remember back then, 20 years ago, what is the biggest invention of the human being 20 years ago? Well, guess what? It's the computers. Computer is one of the biggest inventions, which is allow you and I and the whole entire world to connect together and able to work at home or in the office, right? So what after the computer? After the computer is the internet that allow people to go online and do a ton of things like search on Google, Yahoo, on Facebook, and do a ton of things. The internet, right now we cannot live without the internet. Before I tell you the next thing right here, I'm telling you this thing right here. After the internet, what else do you think is the big invention? It is the iPhone, guy. That is the update of the computer, and Steve Jobs, he literally take the computer so big and he make it, put it right onto your palm, and everywhere that you go is super convenient that you can go on the internet, you can browse music, you can shop it online, and you can do a ton of things because the iPhone worked based on the internet, and because they connect and leverage the idea of the computer. Now, the question in here, Jimmy, why do you tell me all this thing right here, and where is the future is heading? What is the next big thing? Well, I tell you the next big thing in the future, and which is the tsunami, is cryptocurrency and NFT. Okay, let's talk about NFT in a little bit. But when it comes to investing, guy, this is the thing that most people, they don't realize. When it comes to investing, I don't normally look at charts. I don't normally look at the financial statement. The first thing key in investing is you have to spot tsunami. You have to spot huge opportunity. You have to look at the market as a whole, like where right now in the world and when is the tsunami is coming. How can I find where the tsunami is, where the world is heading, right? Just like the biggest tsunami before it's computer, after that it's the internet, and the next big thing after the internet is the iPhone, right? And after that, e-commerce, shopping online. So now let me talk to you a little bit about cryptocurrency. You already know about cryptocurrency already. So let's talk about NFT. Jimmy, why NFT is the next biggest tsunami? Because NFT, guy, if you pay attention to this thing right here, right now, before, right, we have physical product, which is like the book that we read, right? Guess what happened? Now everything turned into ebook, right? Before, we have like face-to-face interaction. Now everything is through Zoom and stuff like that, right? And before, we talk to each other face-to-face. Guess what happened? Now it's giving the opportunity to record video like this, digital, to send the message to you online through social media and YouTube. So if you want to invest, you have to pay attention to where the world is heading. So I remember the other day, the show of Ellen show. She went online, right? And she literally draw something, it's so ugly, right? And she take a picture of that and she turned it into a digital, like a picture, digital. And she sell it online like for $50,000. It's insane. Like people buy her ugly picture for $50,000 digital, and that is called the NFT. Let me ask you another quick question. I saw some artists, they literally buy a digital art, okay, for $60 million. And last week, Dogecoin, the picture of Dogecoin, they auctioned for millions of dollars. So you have to pay attention to those trends, okay? So in the future, what I really think, guys, is NFT. What is NFT? It's basically, think of it like a digital collectible item, okay? If you watch back then, like Pokemon card, baseball card, people literally make like millions of dollars. They sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars for a baseball card, collectible item. But that physical product, here's a problem, guy. When it comes to physical product, it can destroy, it can get wear out, and it can get lost over time. But when it comes to digital product, you basically can store it for over a long period of time. Everything is stored in your phone. So I see the phone is so convenient right now, so I can see the trend in the future that everything is going to be digital, and you guys see it happen already. People shopping online, people invest online, you know, video is online, everything is digital. Ebook, everything, even the app is online. So I can really see that NFT is going to allow the people, okay, digital collectible item is going to allow the people like you and I. So imagine, for example, okay, let's put it this way for you to easy process. What is NFT? NFT is like, for example, right now, let's say hopefully one day, right, I'm getting really famous, and I say, you know what, I'm gonna take a picture right now, right, just sit down right here, like I'm taking a picture right now, and I say, you know, Jimmy in his sunglasses, take a picture right now, and later on, let's say I become really famous, I say, I only have 5 of these pictures for my loyal fan, okay, and I have my signature in there, and I put it online, and I sell each picture, let's say for $20,000, okay, with my signature on there. So that is called NFT. Back then, so basically it's allowed artists, it's allowed YouTuber, it's allowed celebrity, it's allowed any ordinary people to produce their own work by sending it online through digital, okay? And by doing that, like before, when you draw some sort of pictures, you worry about like copyright, you worry about trademark, you worry people steal your item and stuff like that, and you have to send online to like trademark your item, copyright your item. But now, through NFT, you basically can snap a photo and you can literally like sell that thing online, and you own the copyright without having to go to the copyright process, without having to go to the trademark process. You own the material, and now you can send your image out, you can send your artwork out, and you can sell to anybody all around the world really, really fast. And I see this opportunity is massive because it's allowed ordinary people, artists, singer, celebrity, or even Marvel, you know, they can create a ton of collectible items and sell to so many people. So I say NFT, digital collectible item, is going to be huge in sport industry, in music industry, for artists. It's huge, okay? And the question in here is, how can you invest into the NFT? What kind of token out there that you can invest in? What kind of coin out there? Well, right now in this video, I just want to let you know the future is, but if you're really interested, right now, I could create this type of video to let you know that the future is huge. This is the biggest tsunami is coming, okay? Cryptocurrency and NFT, and this is the channel I talk about those kind of things. So in the next 1 or 2 weeks, I probably will release the video of which coin that I put literally over 6 figures, and Leon and I and Long put over, I'll probably say $500,000 at least into this coin. And I strongly believe this coin is huge potential of at least, I'll talk about at least 50x to 100x in the future. And I'm very confident where the future of NFT is heading. And of course, this is a high risk investment, but when I spot a unicorn, I'm willing to bet on this risk. And like I say, if you're interested, please comment below. You say, hey, you know, Jimmy, I'm interested, I'm willing to take my own risk, because high risk, high return. And don't do the blame game, okay? Good luck, guys, and I will release the video very soon to you guys. Good luck, and always invest like a genius.